these children were not born bullies. They probably learned that from their parents. You let your children roam from one group neighbor's house to the other, and you expect them not to pick up some certain attitudes. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Adanna. I'm a product YouTuber, and if today is your first time of coming across my video, guys, thank you so much for clicking. Thank you for stopping by. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button somewhere down here. I don't know, just hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to share my link with your friends and loved ones who you think would love to see video content like this. Guys, welcome to a new month, and I'm happy to start off the month with this video. So guys, there have been lots of this December just started quite funny. A lot of activities going on, a lot of things has been trending, and one particular topic that has been trending for a few days now is the child Sylvester. Sylvester is just a 12-year-old student of Dowen College in Lagos, Nigeria, who died a few days ago from being bullied and brutalized by his fellow students in the secondary school. Like, guys, you can't imagine it. A 12-year-old child was bullied, beaten, battered and brutalized to death by his fellow students just because he refused to join a cult. On the 26th of November, the school contacted the parents of this boy to come pick up their ward, who they allegedly said fell from playing football. Apparently, the school has been treating this boy without informing the parents that he at any point had sustained any form of injury, until things got out of hand. That was when they deemed the fee of reaching out to the parents of this boy to come pick up their word. The parents are not based in Lagos, so they sent someone, a family member, to go pick up this child. Let me show you a clip of what this child looks like. Guys, that is exactly what the child looks like. Does that child look like a child that fell while playing football? No, I don't think so. I'll also show you another clip of the child while he was still at the hospital alive.
Are you doing?
Guys, that story is such a sad story that even talking about it here on this channel is something that I kind of find very difficult, but I just needed to talk about it, being that I've experienced my siblings who went through the boarding school. I've had a similar experience, and I think that is one of the reasons why I just want to talk about it here. That child, in fact, whatever happened to Sylvester could happen to just anybody. It could happen to any child. I've heard mothers say God forbid, and then my question is, what is God forbidding? It can happen to anybody. You as a parent have a whole lot of work to do in bringing up your child, so that your child doesn't become like the bullies that, you know, sent Sylvester down his early grave. Dowen College has refused to tell us what happened to that child, and that brings me to the question: is boarding school a safe place for a child? Is boarding school a safe place for children? Is boarding school a safe place where we can entrust our children and expect them not to pick up nasty attitude from here and there, and expect them to come out better children? Is boarding school a place where we can entrust our children and expect them to come out better than how they were as at the time we entrusted them into the schools? As parents, we have a lot of work to do on our children, and I think the same thing is applicable to schools as well, because if you don't train your child properly and your child becomes a bully, becomes a threat to other people's children, why are you, God forbidding it? Why? Because you just didn't do what you're supposed to do. There have been a lot of controversies about why we should say no to boarding school. There have been a lot of controversy. In fact, a whole lot of people have their opinions why the boarding school is not a good place to bring up children. Yes, the disadvantages of bringing up a child in a boarding school outweigh the advantages, and I have people who have gone through this sort of schooling system, and it has had different effect on them, and that's why I even want to talk about it. First off, as a parent who have your children in school, I think that we should not ignore the signs. When a child says, this school, I can no longer attend it, please, as a parent, it's your duty. Don't overlook these signs. It's your duty to find out what the problem could be. Find out from the child. And how can you even get this information from your children if we're not friends with them? If you're the type that you're coming home and your children are running helter-skelter just because they don't want you to probably shout on them or harass them verbally about one thing or the other, how do you intend to get to get information from them? How? Let me know if you use the word you, because I'm referring to myself as well. If we are not friends to our kids, how do we get this information? It's not possible to get this information because they will keep hiding one thing or the other, and at the end of the day you're like, oh, the signs were there but I just didn't see it. So we need to first of all address the issue of becoming friends with our kids, so we get to find out what is happening in their day-to-day activity. You get first-hand information from them, not from other people, from what the teacher has to say, what the other student has to say, what another mother has to say, from your own child, because information gotten from them can either be true or lie. But you know, as a mother or as a parent, you have brought up that child in a certain way, so you will be able to decipher what the child is saying at the right time, at the right place. I saw comments from people saying when he first complained, why didn't they pull him out from the school? We cannot blame the parents entirely. Besides, this school is not even very cheap. It's not a cheap school. It's not a public school. This is in quotes, a hybrid kind of school. So the parents could have overlooked it for maybe even the very minute reason. You need to get reasons why you should pull a child out in the first place. Now, I think that is relatable because for instance, I had a kid brother who was sent to school and he kept complaining to my dad and my mom that he just doesn't want to be in that school. We cannot tell why. He was, in quotes, the rebellious kind of child. He's stubborn, he's strong-headed, he doesn't heed to instructions. In fact, he was just not, at that time of his life, he was not the best. And my parents sent him to a boarding school for that reason, I'm sure, like to give him a better training. He got to the school, stayed a year and kept complaining one issue or the other. For every freaking time we go to visit him, he kept complaining, but we didn't heed to that instruction until one day we woke up and we saw this child in front of the house. Yes, my brother trekked. If you stay in the eastern part of Nigeria, especially if you stay within Port Harcourt, Imo State, Abia State and River State, you will know this place I'm talking about, Owerenta. That's close to Owerri. It's between Abia State and Imo State. My sibling, at the age of between 11 to 13, this boy trekked all the way from Owerenta down to my house in Port Harcourt. How it happened, we don't know. We woke up to see him in front of the house, and when my parents asked him, he said that he had to jump the fence and walk down to the house all the way from that place. It sounds unrealistic, but this is something that happened to us. And then my father said, if you're able to walk this distance down to this house, it obviously means you don't want to be in that school. And that was how he was pulled out. Till date, we don't know what happened, why he ran away from that school. Anything could have happened to this child on his way back. He could have been kidnapped, he could have been murdered, he could have been used for ritual, he would have been knocked down by a car, he would have just died, and then we'll be informed that the child went missing from school. Why? Because my parents refused to take heed, to even heal to his cry for help. But thank God he came home safe. That as parents, we need to learn to listen to our kids whenever they tell us something. And then another thing I want to talk about is that, these children were not born bullies. They probably learned that from their parents. They learned that from the house. Probably their dad bullies, kind of abuses their mom physically. They could as well have learned that from their neighbors. So it's possible you train your child a certain way at home, and then he comes out into the community, into the society, and become a nuisance based off on what he or she has learned from the house. Sometimes from what they learned from the neighbors. You let your children roam from one group neighbor's house to the other, and you expect them not to pick up some certain attitudes that is not even worthy of learning. Parents, we need to do better. Like my people say in Igbo, Ofonya nazo matakri. What does it mean? One person cannot train a child. A child is trained by the parent, the community, which is the school, the church, and every other person in the society. So the aim of sending the child to school in the first place is for them to learn other things that we as parents cannot imbibe into them at home. That is the sole reason why they go to school, to learn. So no same parent would send their child to a boarding school just because they want to be free. No, the aim in the first place is to send their kids to school to get the best, and then they go there and become something else, or they go there and become victims or become bullies. So it starts from the house. That's why they say charity begins at home. Also, something else I want to talk about, the boarding school might be a no-no for some people, but I have a sibling that went to that attended a boarding school from SS1. This boy used to be an introvert. He doesn't have any form of social life from primary school to JS3. And we thought about it. We needed a better place, a better school for him, and what option came up? A boarding school. In fact, a federal technical school for that matter. My mom was not okay with it, being that my other brother had an experience with living in the boarding school. But it's something she just decided to give a try. And my kid brother, who was such an introvert, attended the school. The first term, I won't lie to you, was hell for him. He was within his shells, he was attending classes, but his teachers complained that he just doesn't associate with anybody. First term, I kept asking him, do you want us to withdraw you? He said no. Do you want us to withdraw you? No. But he wasn't doing well. Second term, SS1, the same thing. And then he got into SS2. Guess what? This boy's confidence level just blew up. I don't know where that came from. Someone that used to be into himself started making friends. Gradually, he started making friends. Gradually, he was a very slow child, but gradually, this boy picked up. And it just seems like things just turned around academically for him. His self-esteem just grew. Like, we're always eager to go to see him during visiting day, because when you see him, he's that child, that smart child that every parent wants. He did a 360 and life became easier. When his result came, it was amazing. This is someone that was not doing well. He picked up. So boarding school is not as bad as people say it. It has, like I said from the beginning of this video, it has its own disadvantages, which I agree, outweighs the advantages. It boosts a child's self-esteem if he's not a victim of bullies, and also it takes academic level. They do well because I've seen some of them do very, very well, because there is no mother, there is no father to teach you in this place. You just have to strive for it. You have to do it yourself. You have to hustle it by yourself. You're your own parent at that time, and I think that is one of the reasons why they do well. For Sylvester, I pray that the Lord will grant his parents the grace and the fortitude to bear this loss, because I will not lie, no mother, no parent want to lose their child in such a brutal manner. No parent want to lose their child, more or less losing a child in such a brutal manner. And I pray that they find justice. I pray that Nigerians stand up in this situation to find justice for Sylvester, because he deserves to find justice. He was such a healthy child. I saw his pictures, I saw write-ups from his siblings, and it's even very heartbreaking how fellow students could go these extra miles. In fact, it was butcher, because so many things, they say he drank chemical, they say he did this, he did that, so many things went wrong with that boy. I pray that the parents find justice. And as for Dowen College, please, they need to come out and tell us what happened to this child, because it just doesn't make sense. They're sending mails, they'll start classes online since the government since Lagos State has shut down the school. It just doesn't make sense. For everyone who is a parent in that school and you want to start classes online, shame on you, because it could happen to you. It could happen to you, it could happen to your sister, it could happen to your children, it could happen to anybody. So shame on you as a parent in that school, and you want to start classes online. Shame on you. This is the time to stand up as Nigerians and fight for justice for Sylvester, because he deserves it. His parents deserve it. They deserve to know that their child did not just die for nothing. And for every other parent who has witnessed their child go one form of bully, one form of abuse or the other in schools, and you're not speaking up, this is your time to speak up. This is your time to face your fears. Nigeria is no longer what it used to be, where people speak up and nothing is being done. It is time to stand up, face your fears, and put up the attitude, if I perish, I perish. Do what you need to do, because if you don't protect your children, nobody will protect them. Thank you guys. This is my 2-piece. Let me know your opinion about the trending topic for Sylvester. Just let me know in the comment section what you think that would have gone wrong, what you think that could have happened to this child. Let me know in the comment section, guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye.